Happy first day of spring. It's March 21st, 2021. I'm up here on the Panorama Bluffs. I often come up here on Sundays. It's a nice 3-mile paved loop up here. No cars, no bikes, so you can just kind of get moving. Plus it's kind of nice. There's usually always plenty of people walking around, though I got here kind of early. You're looking here. This big steep hill is part of my Killahilla course. I got a 5-mile course that goes up and down these bluffs, and there's like 21 switchbacks go up this thing. And it's quite an event. We used to do it every New Year's. Who could do the most laps in 8 hours? For a couple years, the record was 5 laps, which is about a marathon because it is 5.2 miles. And I did 5 laps twice. And then the third year, a friend of mine, Courtney, and I came out here and we got the 6 laps. So we got a 50K. Of course, Joel and Garrett got, I got 6. They got 7 or 8 laps. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, 7 laps. So the record is 7 laps. Haven't done the race years because usually on New Year's I've been across years, but hopefully we'll bring it back. If you look way off in the distance, those are the oil fields of Kern County. And over there, if you can see this kind of canal river, there's a famous bridge over there called Gordon's Ferry. There's Bakersfield College over there, a little hazy. And way off in the distance is the High Sierra. And in theory, you can see the snow-capped peaks of even Whitney. So that's just kind of where I come. You know, you definitely have to have routines. Routine for me is often coming up here to the bluffs, Panorama Drive, some really nice houses around here. I come up to the bluffs and do my workouts. When I had my run camp going for years, we had our Bagels and Blenders hike where we walked to Bagels and Blenders, bought some bagels and walked back. And it was an easy 10 miles, 5 miles there, 5 miles back for me, 3.5 from Yokitz where people met me. And what was nice about that was when I did my first 100 miler, I was like, when I got to mile 9, I was like, oh, it's just a Bagels and Blenders hike to the finish. Unfortunately, my terrible sleep streak is continuing. It's ever since daylight savings, and I think it has something to do with that Pfizer shot because I haven't felt myself the past few days, even though I did have the shot almost 2 weeks ago. In fact, I get my second one on Friday this week. But yeah, I went to bed. I was playing poker. I cashed another tournament, which was nice. Went to bed at 11, passed out for 2 hours, woke up my usual 1 o'clock when I always wake up. Then again, I was wide awake like I've been the past couple days where I've been able to just roll back over and go to sleep. So I ended up getting up and doing some editing, found this open app, can't remember the exact name, but worked on some of my Adam Setzer, his road to Western States, and went in there and listened to the podcast we did and cut it up so that there's little bite-sized chunks. So that was all good. And unfortunately, and then I finally went back to sleep like at 4:30. But then by 5:30, I was wide awake. So got in the car and came up here. And here I'm at the bluffs. Like I said, quite a few people. That trail going up the bluffs, I call the Slash for obvious reasons. And the Fire Road, also part of the Killahilla course. Yes, the app I'm using is, or the website is OpenShot for editing. But as you know, if you watch my videos, I don't do any editing in these per se. Using it more to edit some of the long form podcasts I do. And in fact, we're supposed to be doing with the Jester tomorrow. So if you got questions or show topics, please write to us. Jester's on his way to finishing his 200th 100-mile race. Panorama Liquors, often use that as my aid station when I'm up here. And then, of course, across the street, Greenland Mortuary. I often tell people, yeah, just meet us by the graveyard. It's always funny seeing the palm trees out here. Yesterday, while I was playing poker, I saw this pretty good little video by North Face with Rory Bosio. I always mess up her name. It's interesting, a lot of the North Face videos are all these rock climbing, real obscure type stuff that, you know, I mean, they're just climbing these things. I'm always kind of interested, like, is there that big an audience that you have this many guys sponsored to climb rocks? But I guess there is. I know me and my wife like watching mountain climbing, but that's not really rock climbing. I don't like watching rock climbing. It just makes me nauseous. I feel, you know, they're going to fall or something. But what I really liked with Rory, she was at Corsica, and she was going to try and do the fastest known time across some crazy 115-mile trail with tons and tons of elevation. She had her sisters and her girlfriends out there helping her and crewing her. She ended up not completing it. It's interesting to see. I knew she was nurse. She's actually a prenatal nurse at UC Davis. I also love how she goes out and cross trains. She's got a big old bruiser, beach cruiser bike, and she rides up Donner Pass, big old road on it. Kind of reminds me of my big bruiser bicycle. So I really love that. Totally a really great free spirit. My only interaction with her one year, I was at Tahoe 100 crewing and pacing people, and she was in the 50 miler, and the 50 started after the 100 people. So I'm at the mile 15-8 station or something, and then you can just see she's just so an amazing athlete. You know, it's like seeing Michael Jordan or any of these great Pele or something. She just comes floating in. You couldn't take your eyes off her, even though there was 50, 70, 80 people. God, remember that? There's all these people around, but she just came in, totally unassuming, just floated up the aid station, grabbed what she needed, and then just floated off. Later on, I heard she crushed the course record, not just for women, but for men. Just phenomenal watching her move and run, and it was the highlight of that race, definitely for me. So glad to have seen her, and that's about it for today. I'm gonna get home, play some poker, and stay healthy, be boring, not epic.
And look at the other stuff.